Good evening, y'all. I just wanted to come on here and tell um, all the people that really did respond to the videos what my belief in demons did to me mentally. I wanted to tell y'all thank you for your honesty and your bravery. That's not an easy thing to talk about. That's really not an easy thing to even admit. Knowing people that might see it, or people in general are going to see it, period. Um, Definitely, it is a much deeper story behind all of the effects it caused, believing in that kind of stuff. And another, thing I wanted to kind of address is when you're in your church, no matter what religion it's in, they always talk about these evil spirits being men or masculine. Let me just say masculine. It's always he or his. Excuse me. In the scriptures, when they took on fleshly bodies and came down and molested women, or had not molested them, had sex with them, just so they a bunch of horny, damn evil spirits. I mean, when you really look at this kind of stuff, the things that we're taught as young people and how we have to internalize that kind of stuff. One young lady came on my Facebook post. You can find me on Facebook too, at either Mocha Chameleon or Nyereé Sanchez. I have two pages. I got my radio podcast page and then I have my main page. I'm also on Instagram under both names. So anyway, she talked about how she had a fear of being in her own basement. She couldn't stay down there for a long period of times because of her beliefs in demons, that she would be afraid and she would feel eerie. That was the most place in the house where she felt the most eerie. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I used to feel like that too. It's crazy because I used to always think somebody was in my basement. I'm saying, like, this stuff is so crazy, y'all. Like, I know I can laugh at it now, but I, I don't know if any of you all have ever saw this movie. It's called Beautiful Minds. It's about this man named John Nash. I think he was a professor or something like that at a college. And he got diagnosed with schizophrenic paranoia. And it took him a long time to finally realize that these people he thought was real were not real people. And the thing that made him realize it is because the little girl that he kept seeing that was following him around never grew up. And it had been like 20 years and she was still like 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because during the time that this started to happen to him, it was strongly embedded in his belief system that this stuff was real. These people were real. He really thought that there were secret agents after him. You know what I'm saying? If y'all haven't watched that movie, Beautiful Minds, please go watch it. I watched it some years ago or whatever. Um, the funny part about it is I didn't know that I was suffering from these things until within this last year. That's what's crazy about it. I knew that it didn't feel right to me, but I always just thought that something was wrong with me. You know, when you feeling like that, you have weird stuff like that happening to you, and it's not happening to nobody else around you, that will start to make you loathe yourself because you start thinking that, why is this happening to you? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You start to you start hating yourself, not liking yourself. And a lot of people, this is where those suicidal thoughts and those feelings and tendencies, excuse me, come from. Excuse me, y'all. I got emotional for a minute. Um, it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot for a person to overcome, especially when you realize you were suffering all that kind of stuff because of something that you was taught to believe that you ain't had nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? You're not suffering from this because you went out and You know, you did something or put something in your body or took something that hurt yourself or destroyed your mind. It's things that you had innocently had nothing to do with that affected your entire life, you know, your entire childhood with this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And for people to disregard how traumatizing it's been for a lot of people just because it hasn't affected them in that way, because it affects you, whether it causes you to not to hold back from having close relationships with people that are really good people that could really be the best person that you could ever meet because of your beliefs. They're not a Christian, so I can't be with that person. They're not a Christian, so I can't marry that person. I can't date that person. Stupid stuff. It's stupid because it's just a belief. It's a concept. It's not real. It's not factual. It's not true. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that no different from me thinking demons was trying to kill me or Satan was trying to kill me. It's all up here. You know what I'm saying? You people turn their back on good people. They don't even give these people a chance. All because of a belief system. I know somebody that got married, right? Because you know, in the belief where I come from, Christians can only marry other Christians. And I mean only Christians in the kingdom heart. You couldn't marry a church Christian either. Wasn't none of that. If you was a Christian and you went to church, you was still serving Satan. This is how twisted this was. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't serving their God, Jehovah, you was still serving Satan. Even though they was still praising Jesus, you was still serving Satan because you wasn't serving Jehovah. And you had the mind of the demons because you wasn't doing what the Bible told you to do, because the Bible said that God and Jesus is not the same people. But then there's scriptures that the church people can show you that says that they are the same people. It's all a bunch of buffoonery, y'all, at the end of the day. It's all conceptual beliefs. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with a person wanting to acknowledge that it's a higher power. I acknowledge that it has to be something higher than man to where all this got here. But at the end of the day, I also am intelligent enough to acknowledge don't nobody know what it is or who it is. You know what I'm saying? If it does have a name, don't nobody know, so they make up stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I said this in the last video I did. Hell, planets are gods. The stars is gods. The sun is a god. Most of the people out here in religion is worshiping sun gods anyway and don't even know it. They think these people are literal. They think Jesus is a literal person. It's a sun god. That's all it is. So the solar system, our universe, is plenty of gods because they rule things. But at the end of the day, all of these beliefs, it affects everybody. It just affects us in different ways. Some people suffer from minor psychosis and they don't know it. And I was suffering from a major one and I didn't know that was the cause of it. I didn't know that my beliefs was the cause of that. So I beat up on myself. I loathed myself. I isolated myself. You know, I just want to say that anybody that's suffering from that, man, talk about it. Because at this point, it's nothing to be afraid of at this point. Like, I don't have nothing to lose at this point. Because I put this in a book. And I didn't even go as deep as I could have went in that book. Because I had to save some for another time. But, yeah. I just wanted to come on here and acknowledge those that's been commenting on my pages and say thank you. I appreciate it. You know, and we all on this healing journey together, man. So, let's get it.